Hi everyone, welcome to my third video in the series Product Analytics for Product Managers in B2B Startups. In this video, I will dive a bit into, let me skip the slide, to detailed onboarding funnels and specifically into onboarding flows and removing complexity from this topic. In general, I'll dive into how you can use onboarding journeys and funnel reports to improve your new user experience. So firstly, let's start with the difficulty and the complexity with onboarding. Most SaaS companies that I work with are trying to use product-led growth, or PLG. So the goal is that new users can kind of self-serve and figure out the value of the product by themselves, use it, learn it by themselves in a reasonable time frame, which we like to call time to value. As product or growth people, we spend a lot of time thinking about the different kinds of users that come into our onboarding flow and trying to figure out what it is they're trying to achieve, right? So that we can send them to value in a straight line as smoothly as possible. And after that, of course, we want to slowly let the magic of our product unfold over time in a beautiful continuous onboarding flow, right? So they're supposed to keep learning at their own pace. And this is hard because number one, our product might have a lot of very interesting features and we're not actually sure what our new users want to see first. Secondly, we might be trying to target multiple ICPs, ideal customer profiles, which all might have different goals or different use cases. Long story short there, please just stick to one ICP, at least if you don't have product market fit yet. For me, product market fit means, in short, that you can sustainably resell a standardized product to the same ICP over and over in a repeatable, predictable manner. Third complexity is we need to think about different onboarding flows for different members of the team or different roles. For example, the account owner will have different goals from the administrator, will have different goals from a team member, and will have different goals from maybe any other type of roles. The fourth problem is that some B2B products are inherently kind of difficult to learn. Some topics are kind of difficult, and it's not so easy to break down a complex, usually human-assisted onboarding process into bite-sized, product-driven onboarding. Fifth complexity might be likely is that we're operating in a red ocean. Most SaaS companies I work with are at this point. And if we are operating in such a red ocean, it's kind of hard for us to identify what are the so-called right to play features, or kind of the features that all the players have, but you need to offer in order to even be considered by a user. So which one of those should we show them, and how quickly can we actually get to our special sauce? Do we even know what our special sauce is? And sixth, last but not least complexity, is we need to handle not only the new user onboarding, but also this continued onboarding. So after we initially make new users comfortable with our product, we need to show them over time at the correct pace the expansive value of our product. And this is really hard because everyone learns at a different pace. Everyone's looking for different stuff. We should make sure not to be too fast, not too slow. Tough. And so I think it's very important to start by understanding these layers of complexity so that we can consciously try to remove them bit by bit. So that allows us to go from a very complex onboarding flow to something that is maybe a little bit more linear and a bit more simple. And so the first way to reduce complexity, I'll repeat it, we can identify a number one ICP to focus on rather than trying to go after multiple ICPs, especially if we don't have PMF. Secondly, we can try to focus on one role first. For example, if your product is built for SMEs, it might be that the account owner hat is worn by the person who is actually experiencing the pain, who's looking for a solution, and who's also likely the champion, the person who's going to be bringing the product into their organization. And so it might make sense for you to start with a singular focus on that account owner role and really nail the onboarding flow for them. But of course, don't forget that you do need to also consider all these other roles. You do need to also optimize the onboarding flows for all the other team members at some point. And here you can see what happens here, right? This is, for example, if you try to consider all the roles, you probably can't see it because it's just too complex. And we have an account owner, we have an admin, we have a manager and a team member. I'll move my face around, then you can see it. You have a team member. They all have different primary goals, and each of these primary goals leads into a different flow, right? It gets really, really complex. If you focus on only one role, this is slightly easier, right? You can kind of strip it down into pieces to simplify this process for yourself. So by focusing on one ICP and one persona at the time, we can build a deeper understanding of their primary goals, what they wanted to do first in your product, so that we can guide them there in that beautiful straight line. And also by focusing, we can learn about the alternatives that they're using today so that we can strive to become 10 times better than that alternative, so that they will actually stick with us. And I think customer value is one of the vaguest and probably most meaningless terms in product management today. But by understanding who we're serving, we can turn it into something concrete and useful. And in the next video, I will dive into like looking into a concrete onboarding journey and looking into an example of a concrete onboarding funnel so that I can show you how you can look at these reports and understand what to do next, right? So get these actionable insights. I hope you enjoyed this one.